These are 5 stocks that made me a very good money in the year 2025. Well, the year has not yet ended. Well, we're still remaining with like 2-ish months for the year to be completed. And I'm just going to give you a feedback and I tell you, hey, how has the stock market taken me on this year? And we can also strategize on what we can do for the coming year 2026. Remember that video I told you guys, the 3 assets actually to buy before the year ends, that is before the December 2025. Stay put. I'm going to discuss that much here. Okay, now here I'm going to share with you the number. I'm going to start with the number 1, or rather number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, until that share that actually made me quite a good amount of money, obviously. And I thank God for this, and I'm here to inspire somebody, and I'm here to share with you this information to tell you that you can start buying stocks no matter how small money that you have it. You can start there, then start growing yourself progressively. And again, whatever I actually bought does not mean now that everyone should go ahead and buy those companies. No, this is just me sharing this information to educate you, and kindly make sure that you always contact your financial advisor. And if you do not have somebody who can guide you on how to invest, then that is always my number. You can get it. Please kindly text me on WhatsApp so that I can be able to serve you in case you need my services. And obviously, I will charge you. Good thing is that you can afford. Anyway, let's get on the business now. Now, I'm going to start with the number 5, 4, 3, all the way to number 1. And without wasting time, let's get into the business. Don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe and you leave a comment on the comment section. Now, the first company, or rather the number 5 company rather, that made me quite good amount of money is Coop Bank. In Kenya, we call it Coop Bank. Or should I say in full, Cooperative Bank. You know, it's one of the banks here in Kenya. I think it's the number 3 biggest bank here in Kenya. Well, it depends on who you ask. You know, we kind of have like 3 giants here in Kenya. We have the Equity Bank, the KCB, and the Cooperative. Those are the giants. So I bought these shares at around, when they were around 11 shillings per share, around 11 shillings per share. Right now, they are at 20 shillings. So I made a difference of 9 shillings in difference. That is quite a huge chunk of cash. Remember, if I bought at 11 shilling, do you know what that means? It means that I'm only 2 shillings away. Or should I say 2 units, or 2 bir, 2 naira, 2 kwacha, 2 pula, 2 rands, whatever the country that you're coming from, $2 or 2 euros, okay? Those are different names of the currencies we have in Africa and Europe as well. So now I bought it at 11, Kenya we call it shillings. And now they are at 20 shillings. So the difference of 9 shillings, I'm almost doubling what I invested there. If let's say I invested, say 100K, I'm about to hit. You get what I'm saying? And I'm using as an example. I'm not saying what I invested. I'm just giving you as an example. So, and by the way, right now as we speak, this company shares is around 20-ish shillings. They are 19-ish, depends. By the way, I'm making this video a little bit earlier, so the market has not yet opened. I usually have a screen in front of me that displays all the stocks when I'm talking to you, by the way, behind the camera. Maybe perhaps one day I'll make the behind videos, how all these videos are produced. So the market has not yet opened because we are from the weekend and something like that, or we are on the weekend. So could have shown you. But anyway, the point here is to buy these shares, if you may start buying them at 20 shillings, you need, and nowadays the rule has changed. It's not a must that you buy the 200 shares. That means if you have your 20 shillings like 20 cents USD in terms of the USD, if you have that amount of money, you can start buying these companies. You can buy one unit or 1 share or 2 or 3. Let's say maybe you have like 100 shilling. If you have 100 shilling, you can buy 5 shares of this company. If you have 200 shilling, you can buy, say, 10 shares of this company. Have you seen now it's not that expensive? You can actually afford. Indeed, you can. Back then, when I started buying shares, because it's a little bit back then, the law was still you must buy at least 100 shares of any given company. But that is number 5 that actually made me that amount of money. And by the way, when I say amount of money, I'm not even calculating the dividends. I'm only considering the capital gain. Capital gain is when you buy shares and then resell them later. Okay, I'm only considering the capital gain. If I start counting the dividends, that is even better news, because you know this company is one of the companies that pays the dividends each and every time. Okay, now we go to number 4, that company that made me some good cash as far as the stocks are concerned, and I've listed them down. I don't want to forget anything. That is KenGen. Okay, KenGen. KenGen is that company that involves itself. By the way, those who do not know, this is a banking company. KenGen is a company that involves itself with what we call electricity production or generation. I think the correct name should be generation. Yeah, to generate. They generate electricity. Kenya, we are known for, I think we are the leaders. I think, is it globally? No, I don't think it's globally. I think we're one of the countries that we lead globally. Top in terms of the clean energy or green energy, should I call it. And I think we lead in Africa. Yeah, that one yes, we lead in Africa as far as the green energy is concerned. The things to do with the geothermal production, hydro electricity production, and what have you. Even our president has actually been elected. I think he's the chair of all the, I don't know, climate change in the world or something like that. Anyway, whatever it is, that's why they had a crash with Donald Trump, the president of the US, because he doesn't believe in the climate change, Donald Trump. Anyway, that was not the point. So KenGen is a company that involves in the generation. So the reason why I'm sharing, you may think that is not a relevant information. It is very relevant. We lead in Kenya. We lead in terms of the green energy. Then it tells you the future of this company is brilliant. Why? We even have some organizations that are even channeling money to these companies that are involving in clean energy and whatever. Climate change, it is there, and all those kind of things. So it's a company that I would say, to some extent, it has a future in terms of money and what have you. And it's one of the richest companies here we have here in Kenya. So I bought my shares with that particular company and such. Reason why I'm keep on checking so that I do not mention the number 1 or number 3. So we go to number 3. This company, it's so interesting. Let me just put it and tell you which company is this. Bamburi Cement. For those who are Kenyans, or for those who are not Kenyans, Bamburi, it's a company that involves in cement manufacturing. Is it manufacturing or production? I think whatever. So they manufacture the cement. And this company, I'm telling you, it is one of the biggest company when it comes to the cement production. It has a roller coaster of emotions. I have a friend of mine who made a lot of money. When I say a lot, I mean a lot of money with this company. Can you imagine this? Me and that guy, and this is quite interesting. I bought these shares. I was actually seated on this chair. By the way, there is a chair here. I don't know whether you guys have ever seen it. I was seated on this chair and I was like, okay, I've bought some several companies. What other company should I zoom in? And I was like, Bamburi. And then I was contacting my friend. I was like, should you go the Bamburi way? I think this company has a future. Back then, trust you not, this company was around 34 shillings ish there, 34 shillings. This company came all the way from 34 to 70 shillings. Can you imagine that? And it was like, I think there were some companies that came here and pumped in some cash. I think so. I don't know whether it was Tanzanian moguls, or there's some guys who came in and pumped in a lot of money. This shares, I can tell you, it actually jumped. I think it's even in a matter of months. This shares came all the way from 34 all the way to 70, literally doubled. Whatever I didn't put quite a huge chunk of cash here, but if I, of course, I'm not regretting. But if I knew, I could have actually put some cash, and then, after some time, I don't know what happens again. Then these shares, it's like what is happening in Umeme. How many here have bought Umeme shares? Umeme shares, this company, I don't know what. I don't know, it came from what number of shillings all the way to 20 shillings. Now it is back to 3 shillings. Like it has lost over 17 units within a very short period of time. But I heard that they have a lot of cases in courts and what have you, and it's quite of a deep case. I don't know, it's a Ugandan government involved, and I don't want to go get there. Anything in the court, we don't have to discuss it on social media anyway. So they have a lot of things out there. So we had some sort of similar thing with Bamburi. Came from 34 all the way. Some even got into this Bamburi when they were at way below 34. And for me, I got in when they were around 34. There, I went all the way to 70, then retracted back to this. Well, but the thing is that, I exited. I exited when the companies were around 65 because I was like, hey, we were at 70, hey, 59, hey. Then it's a company that, honestly speaking, for me, I would say I was kind of lucky. This company and the first one that I'm going to discuss with you, and there's on some luck involved or something, I don't know, because first of all, I didn't do a lot of research on this company. I was like, okay, this is how I argued. And by the way, sometimes this is how sometimes too much knowledge affects your decision to invest. I was like, okay, Kenya is a developing country, okay? We are constructing a lot. And what is that company that is involved? When I go to the construction site, what kind of a cement do I see? I see Bamburi. Okay, sometimes I see Blue Triangle, sometimes I see Savannah. Sometimes I was like, okay, but right now I think the one that is in Kenya was Inakula eating, meaning like it's selling. So I think it's Simba. So I was like, let me put in my money on because Simba, I don't think it's traded publicly. So I was like, let me put my money on the Bamburi cement, and voila. I got some cash with that. So yeah, sure. I mean, it's a company right now. It's not doing so good off or something, but it's a worth company to actually buy if you're looking for a company to buy. So I believe it has ever touched here. One day it's gonna go back there. We call it the 52-week range, whereby you check out on. But I always tell people, go deeper into the stocks analysis, likes of the PB, PE, and all those kind of things, the EPS, and all those kind of things, and so that you can be able to make a decision. Let's go to the number 2 as far as the stocks are concerned. Another one. This one was so interesting to me. By the way, I don't know. Personally, I love this company. It's called Stanbic. Stanbic Bank. I just love this company, I don't know, if you go to the premises of this company, I don't know, I just love the customer care service, the way they handle their things. They look so professional, yeah? So this Stanbic Bank, I actually bought some shares, and I think I've ever shared this information with you back then. I bought these shares at around 90. It was around, was it 94, 96? Let's work with the 95 as an average. I bought it at 95. Right now, we are talking of 184 shillings. Can you just imagine that? That's close to a double of what I actually got. Actually, it's more than double, indeed. Yeah. And this is a company that pays a very good in terms of dividends, The dividends is in apps of 32 shillings, 34 shillings, that is shillings per share that you own. The shares are not quite cheap because as of now it's 184. I bought it at 95. You can just imagine if I liquidate the share that I got. I also shared another example of an individual who bought shares of this company. This guy, well, he's a risk taker. He did invest his 750,000. He bought these shares around this particular period of time, and he got whatever guys I shared. Go check out that video that I shared with you. He made quite of a good amount of money with this. And please, guys, don't be misadvised. I'm not saying that if you put this money here, you're going to realize all those profits within a short period of time. You become a billionaire, you become all the... Please. Just something happened to me does not mean it will always replicate to someone else. And I always tell people, please, this is my own research. Always do your own research. Don't just get my information and start withdrawing all your savings. No, please be advised what you are doing. That's why I always recommend, before you put your money in an investment, first of all, get yourself a financial advisor. First of all, get to do your own research so that you understand what do you need at what particular time. Not just taking anything and just you saw a random guy on the YouTube. No, please always do your research. Because somebody, okay, if Good Joseph bought at 95, and don't do those analyses. Cross multiply. If this happened, this, then. Don't analyze things that way. It's always good to first of all do the research. And if you do not have anybody whom you can contact, that is my number. You can contact me on WhatsApp. I insist, contact on WhatsApp. Okay? Now, we go to the first one, KPLC. Or what you guys have been waiting. If there is a company that I'm so great, I don't think I will cease singing about this company. I don't think I will cease singing about this company. This was one of the best happening in 2025. For those who got into this company at the beginning of this year, 2025, or even the late of last year, that is 2024, they are singing hallelujah and grace and rejoicing because this company made people a lot of money. And there is a company I'm suspecting might also do the same what the KPLC will do. Might. And I'm not perfect. Again, I'm just a guy who is analyzing the market. So don't come on my neck when it doesn't happen. Oh, you told us we should. No. I'm just doing my own research. This company I bought. I feel so good even when I'm writing. I bought this company at 1.4 shilling. 1 shilling and 46 cents. We are now at 14. You tell me. You can't make these stuffs up. It literally means that whatever I invested was multiplied 13 times. Can you imagine if you did put $1 million there? How much would you be having? 13 mic. Can you imagine if you did put as little as 250,000? How much will you be having? Over 3 million. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? What property will give you that? What a piece of land will give you that? But anyway, it can give you that. I'm not saying piece of properties are bad. No, I love buying lands. I love, not lands per se, but I love properties that are generating cash flow. I don't like assets that are not generating cash flow. I love assets that are generating cash flow. So don't be like, oh, Joseph said we should not buy land. No. They are good. So the thing here is, guys, Those are the 5 companies I would say. Obviously, this is not all the companies that I've invested on. I've invested in different other companies. Well, if you were to do anatomy of these companies, this is a banking one, this is a production one, this is a manufacturing one, this is a banking one, and this is a production or a service company. There's something I want you to look. This, okay, I may not say this is the most healthy combination, but some companies are production, others are manufacturing, others are service industry, others are banking. It is a mixture of, so you find somebody has bought all the banks, somebody has bought all the manufacturing, somebody has bought all the telcos. No, mix up the company so that you can have that spice up, that spice, whereby you never know what will happen in the manufacturing. You can have a soft landing on the production. You can have a soft landing on the service industry. So when you have a combination of all these companies together, now that's what we call a healthy combination. That is good, Joseph. Hope that video was of help to you in one way or the other. Again, I'm not perfect. By the way, I might have made some mistakes here and there, but anyway, we learn every day, get the concept, and we get going. This is me. See you in the next one. But don't forget, go check me out on my other social media as well. You can learn a lot. This is good, Joseph, and see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment in the comment section.